Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
Hey people, you're back with Bunky. Let's finish off Retaliation then and take a look at the Quarian Marksman now. I'm just going to go ahead and give you the build and stuff. I got plenty to say in the gameplay, alright? For Marksman, slightly different from my Turian, okay? I still recommend you going with the firing rate for the first evolution. I take headshots for the next evolution, okay? And then I take accuracy and firing rate for the last one. Tactical scan. This is the first time I've ever shown just fully spec it out, okay? For this guy, definitely take weapon damage. There's no point taking power damage. You have no offensive powers. This is one of your powers right here, okay? For the next one, you'll definitely want to take movement speed. I'll get more into that in the gameplay. And then finally, take the damage, okay? Take the damage for this. I don't bother with sabotage, okay? I've had my full of sabotage, although I have got some more information on that. Please stick around. Quarian Defender, okay? All weapon damage, guys. Weapon damage, headshots, weapon damage. And then for fitness, all health and shields. Durability, shield recharge, fitness expert. 875 health and shields. It's bad. It is bad, okay? He is super squishy. But what are you going to do? You have got Marksman to do some really nice damage with a lot of guns. I'm going to be rocking the Indra for this gameplay. I'm going to be sticking on the spare thermal clip here because you kind of want all the ammo you can get your bloody hands on. And then I'm going with the high velocity barrel, okay, so I got some extra damage and piercing on this bad boy. Remember, non-DLC weapons are not affected by those added weight mods, okay? For the talon, okay, same thing. Going with more ammo with a magazine upgrade, and then go with the heavy barrel then for some more damage. Don't worry too much about the piercing for your talon, because we're going to go ahead and put on some armor piercing rounds. And then for the armor bonus, I'm going to be sticking on a cyclonic modulator 4, because you saw that health and shields, right? And the gear bonus, I go with the barrage upgrade, okay? Give me some weapon stability and, of course, more thermal clip capacity, more ammo. Something Marksman's just going to demand of you. And then for the weapon bonus, the Indra is going to be my main weapon, so I'm going to be sticking on the sniper rifle rail lamp, and that's going to have us good to go. Let's jump into the gameplay and get into it. Alright, here we go then. It's me, Dom and J Vader again. We're going to be joined with a pug who's going to be doing a lot of wubbing, which is fun when you're trying to snipe. It's nothing quite like a power that just shakes up everybody else's screen. But what are you going to do? Actually, I know what you can do. You can go ahead and watch my Human Adept video guide and learn how to use that power properly. It's not a viable strategy, just spamming that power. You're just pissing everybody else off. Nobody wants to be subjected to a lot of screen shake or other powers that sort of just impede your vision, especially when you're sniping. Other than that, though, there was a decent pug, okay? It just didn't communicate too well. I did ask him not to do that. I was having enough trouble with this map. Look, for hazard white with the Geth, okay? Nothing quite like limited vision when you're sniping. I tell you what, tactical scans, area scan evolution would be cool right about now. See, what you can do with that is you can actually use that without having a target in your sight and reveal enemies within like a 20-meter radius of yourself. See, otherwise, tactical scan will only work if you've got erectical on an enemy. That's the only way you're going to get it to trigger. But with the area scan evolution, you can just hit Y anytime, and it's just going to show you the enemies around you. If you do have an enemy in your sights, you'll see the enemy 20 meters around that enemy. Which is a nice little hunter mode for the team, but that's pretty much it, to be honest. Okay, only the enemy directly scan gets the debuff, and you do have to directly scan an enemy to debuff them, or, you know, is even shown for the whole 26-second duration, or the other enemies that pop up on everyone's sights do disappear after a few seconds. Okay, so the small glimpse this offers to the team is kind of unnecessary. The trash mobs usually make themselves known some way or another. If it's not by directly charging at you, or they'll just shout some nonsense, or, you know, that you can hear quite clearly. And you can't miss the bosses, can you? Big things that they are. Unless, of course, all these things come up from behind, but, you know, TAC-SCAN isn't suddenly going to put eyes on the back of your head either, okay? They're going to, if they come up from behind, they're going to get you from behind, no matter what. So, that's why I'm always going to recommend the 25% damage taken bonus. It's always going to be more useful for you. The only enemies that actually need killing faster are the bosses, okay? And the faster you can do that, the better. Tactical Scan also highlights this debuff to the whole team. Okay, they're red. They can be seen through walls from anywhere on the map. So you know your team know where to focus fire. So that's kind of cool. This build of Tactical Scan produces like a 25% damage increase, as I said, to the enemy, plus another 7.5 increase to weapon damage. So Tac Scan is a decent debuffing power, but it's far from my favourite. Okay, moves like Proximity Mine actually hurts and staggers enemies, so you can which you can use to like force them out of cover and detonate explosions with too. So I'll always kind of prefer that style of power. Although, you know, TAC-SCAN, you can trigger TAC-SCAN without you having to pop out to cover, which is what I'm going to kind of recommend, okay, because it's a bit flat for my liking, and the animation is kind of long. So it is good that you can just stay in hard cover and just activate the power as long as you've got your aimer on the character you need to, or the enemy, rather, that you need to debuff. But yeah, that's Tactical Scan, okay, guys, It's decent. It's decent. The reason I spec into it now, though, is simply because there's not a lot of options with this guy. There is very little synergy between his powers. I mean, Marksman, as I said before in the Quarian Soldier video, doesn't synergize with anything, okay? Because you can't do anything else while it's active, apart from, you know, shoot, which is what you want to be doing with it, to be honest. But, and Tactical Scan, as I just said, has a rather long animation, and I don't know why the fuck he has Sabotage. That has a really long recharge speed, okay, just to top it all off. So the only way to capitalize on all of it is to travel really light. But then the Marksman is awesome because it makes so many weapons great. So the moveset on this character is really counterintuitive. I like to rock the Indra on this guy. I like to rock two weapons, the Indra being my main, because I like to sort of play on the fact that this character is so squishy. You know, I can just do a lot of damage, you know, marksman damage at a long range, so I don't need to get stuck into it. I can play a nice safe sniper distance with this guy. You know, because for some reason the Marksman has less shields than the Quarian male infiltrator and engineer. Yeah, I don't know. Some beautiful mind must have come to the conclusion that Marksman and Sabotage was too powerful a combination. You know, not anything like tactical cloak and arc grenades. But you know, you don't need to keep your distance, okay? Because ultimately, with Marksmen, with the right gun, you can just gun down enemies quicker than they can gun you down. But, you know, I do that with my Quarian Soldier. He's better at it as well because he's a lot tougher. So I do play on the fact that this guy is so squishy, and, you know, play the long range game with him. I do something a little different with Marksman, okay? That's why I'd recommend something like the Indra, or even the Raptor, okay? That Raptor's not bad, okay? It's a lot of people consider it the worst sniper in the game. It's really not, okay? I would say the Viper's the worst sniper in the game, because I've done every weapons challenge in the game, apart from the Venom, because I can't get that fucking gun. But no, I've done every weapons challenge game, so I have used every weapon, and the Viper was just horrible. I did not like the Viper. It's got a really slow rate of fire, and it's supported by really crappy damage. At least with the Raptor, you can shoot that as fast as you can pull the trigger, and with Marksman, you can pull the trigger a whole lot faster too. But, you know, things like the Harrier are just amazing with Marksman. Because the Harrier does a lot of damage, okay, and you can just stream the bullets out so quick that you will just rinse anything with the Harrier with Marksman, okay? Absolutely demolish it, but prepare to marry yourself to the ammo boxes everywhere, because you are going to have some real ammo issues, okay? It's kind of tricky to manage the Harrier's low clip by default, let alone when you're firing the clip out twice as fast as you normally would, okay? So that is a real issue to worry about. You might want to go the lighter option, okay? The Mattock, okay? That's another gun that awards somebody with a trigger finger, okay? You can do some really nice damage with the Mattock. But, you know, you can still stick with the harder hitting options and go something like the Lancer, okay? But again, you're not going to have to marry yourself to any ammo boxes, but you are going to have to monitor that ammo clip so that you don't completely deplete that weapon and overheat it constantly. It's going to be tricky. You might, if you want to stick with the Ultra Res, or you might want to go with something like the Saber, okay? That gets some really nice damage out. And if you can increase the rate of fire on it, you can just hit really hard with it and frequently. So the Saber's a good choice, as is the Typhoon. Okay, the Typhoon is amazing with Marksman, it absolutely is. But you're going to have to find that stability, guys. You don't have the Turian's bonuses, so you're going to need the mods. you're going to need the mods. You're going to need the gears and stuff. Otherwise, that thing's going to kick and wave all over the place. It really is. But, you know, you can, like I was saying earlier, you can go with a lighter option than trying to capitalise on everything this character has. I mean, the Eagle, okay, if you saw you can do some amazing things with the Eagle with Marksman. I hope you saw the Turian video, okay? It's a really light gun, so it's going to allow you to get your powers out, but you're going to need to find that stability. That's why that worked, okay, with the Turian. He's got the stability bonuses, because there's a ton of kick with the Eagle. But honestly, you're going to be better off with something like the Hurricane, okay? The Hurricane is amazing with Marksman. Arguably the best Marksman weapon, because the thing that makes the Hurricane great is the fact that it hits pretty hard, but it just hits so fast. And, you know, with Marksman, you're just increasing all of that, okay? You're hitting so much faster. And because it's increasing your accuracy too, you're going to be hitting so much harder, because more of you're just going to land more shots and stuff. So the Hurricane is godly with Marksman. Super easy mode. You can just gun down everything before it's got a chance to get you. Just fire that bad boy from your hip. But like all the SMGs are great with Marksman. In fact, a lot of the SMGs are only good because of Marksman. I mean, the Tempest is decent. Okay, it is a decent overall SMG. You can go ahead and make that awesome with this. But the Locust, okay, guys, the Locust is really good with Marksman, as is like the Geth SMG and the Hornet. Okay. Do some really nice stuff with it. Even the Punisher would be good as well, okay? You're going to struggle with shields, but, you know, it hits pretty hard, okay? It will definitely be good against the bosses and stuff. So any of the SMGs are going to be work, and it's going to allow you to be really light. There's even like shotgun options, okay? The Piranha, okay? The Piranha would be an awesome choice, because that's really light and it just chews through armor. I mean, if you saw the Geth Infiltrator video, there's another one for you to check out, guys, okay? Part of what made that so awesome was the rate of fire. I mean, the extra damage is all great and everything, but the rate of fire, increasing the rate of fire of the Piranha is a good thing. Absolutely. But see, now, with lighter weapons like those, you could definitely afford to have all his powers. I'd keep Marksman, Quarian Defender, and his fitness the same, absolutely. But then just spec for weapon damage in Tactical Scan, okay? And then you can get backfire in Sabotage. Or you could go just 3 ranks into Tactical Scan and get the recharge speed in Sabotage as well, okay? Even with the buff it got at the end after its many, many nerfs. I see, it's got a long recharge speed, it really does, Sabotage. The setup I had now would put a 5.5 second recharge speed on the power, which would be crippling, okay? You don't need tech vulnerability, though, okay? This is what I mean. It's like, I don't know why he has this power. You don't need tech vulnerability. You never need to worry about not speccing into that, okay? You don't have tech powers. You don't have any offensive powers. That would only be useful if you were running with a tech team, and you would probably just want to be a tech guy yourself in that scenario. It's a crazy power to have on this guy, to be honest. You know, as I said before, as I said before in the Sabotage video, there's no real reason to spec into the hacking mechanic, okay? So that, you know, you don't need to really worry about the points there either. This is what I mean about the guy's synergy, guys. Another crippling aspect of this character is that he has no crowd control on top of his squishiness. Well, at least without Sabotage, okay? Sabotage does stagger organic enemies, whereas it will immobilize synthetics or turn them around. It will only affect one synthetic target, but it can hit up to 2 organics, which is nice. With the backfire evolution, you can stagger organics twice. See, what I got wrong in the Sabotage video, among other things, was how backfire actually works, okay? 1.5 seconds later after being hit with Sabotage, any organic enemy will be staggered again and primed for a tech burst. That's how that works, okay, guys? Despite all that, though, the power would only end up being something you use instead of Marksman. And I just would never make that choice, guys. I would never make that choice. You got, with backfire on this guy as well. Your options would be to stagger an enemy and gun them down casually, or the option to just go Rambo and gun them down super quick. I mean, I hope you just saw what I was doing there. That was awesome there. Just completely wrecked up the place with the talon there. That's the reason I opt for a second close quarters weapon to just smash it up and take down those nippy little bastards like the Nemesis and stuff. Okay. The talon, okay, the talon's my close quarter weapon. That's what I'll use if the enemy gets too close. I don't feel the need to stagger them. I got marksman. I can just wreck them super quick. Okay, and the talon allows me to do that. The thing is, it's like a shotgun. Okay, so it's got a lot of radius on its shot. It's a big pellet spread. So if anything's too close on my screen, I don't need to. The shots don't need to count, okay? I can just sort of aim in its vicinity and going to hit that target. It's going to strip the shields, though, so it's got some... And because of that, it's going to, give some real stopping power, which is what I want. When an enemy's got too close, I want them to stop. I want them to get off me. I'll strip their shields really quick with a talon, and that's going to stagger the enemy. They always stagger when you take down their resistances. So that's why I like the talon. It also hits super hard as well. And as you can see with marksman, I can just get the talon shots out really quick and just, can bombard the enemy with it. It's really good stuff. So, the talon is my close quarter weapon, or my weapon for the super quick enemies that are hard to snipe. But the indra is for everything else then. That's what I recommend for your secondary weapon. Something like the talon. The scorpion would be another good pistol option, okay, because that's amazing at staggering. It's like the best at staggering. But you're gonna lose the damage there. You can go with something like the falcon too. Okay, the falcon's got like an area of effect damage to it, so you're just gonna stun a lot of enemies at one time. So if you can get yourself completely surrounded, which is very easy to do without sabotage, because like I said, he's got no crowd control, guys. He's just got none. So it's good that you can just knock all these enemies back and get yourself some breathing room. And Falcon's really good with marksman because it does suffer nowadays with a really slow rate of fire. So you can change all that and make the Falcon great again. That's what you want with the Falcon. Okay, you want something like hunter mode or marksman. But another assault rifle option would be the ADAS. Okay, I rock that on the Turian soldier. You can see how good that is. It's just locking an enemy up, and it's because I increase the rate of fire on it with marksman. Okay, that's what you can do. It's got a really crappy rate of fire otherwise, and it's one of your own. Okay, it's with Quarian design. Why not? You can go with one of the enemy's design. Okay, and go with something like the Geth plasma shotgun because that staggers with every shot as well, and it's really cool. That's good with an increased rate of fire as well, because you can just bam, bam, bam that thing from the hip and lock up enemies. And, there's the Chrysay. That's a thing. It's a sniper. You might be thinking, why would you want a sniper for a close quarters weapon? The thing is, that's like the Falcon. That's got like an area of effect damage to it. So, it really doesn't matter that it's got this range on it. You can just sort of knock a load of enemies back with the Chrysay as well. It's got some nice stopping power. The Chrysay's okay. That's also got a 150 damage boost to armor, which is nice. Although you probably wouldn't be using your close quarter weapon to take down armor. You're probably going to keep your distance from the boss targets and not use the Chrysay, to be honest. But the equipment I like to rock is the hard hitting rounds. Okay, the real weapon rounds like the armor and drill. So I can do the armor damage to the bosses, and the piercing is useful, okay, especially when you're this squishy. You can just sort of play it safe and shoot them through cover and all that kind of good stuff. But warp's another great choice as well, okay, because you've got the nice damage increase and then you're weakening armor. Anything that just hits hard like that. But the armor bonus, I do recommend the Cyclonic, guys, because this guy is just stupidly squishy. He's really silly, really stupid squishy. He's just so vulnerable. I don't get it. Like, he's so much more vulnerable than the other Quarian males, and yet he is the squishiest of them all. He doesn't have any crowd control options. What are you going to do? I am going to recommend the Cyclonic as like the top choice, but you might want to go something like the stabilization module as well, depending on the gun. Because, like I said, Like I said, he doesn't have the Turian stability bonuses, okay, guys? So you're just going to get a lot of kick with this guy. So you really want to you want to control that some way. So it depends. If you went with something like the Typhoon or the Eagle, okay, you're going to want something like the You want extra stability. The only other one I would recommend might be like power efficiency, okay? So you could have all his powers and get some crowd control and stuff. But you know, that's kind of clutching at straws. I am always going to recommend that you just try and get the shield strength so that you can just take a hit. Because otherwise you can just gun the enemy down super quick then. But for the gears, like as you saw, I'm sticking on the barrage upgrade, okay? Because of the kick I get with Marksman, I absolutely want the extra stability. But you know, it also helps because it gives me the extra ammo, get the more, I guess, the extra spare thermal clips and stuff. Because you know, your bullets just fly out, guys. They're gone. they're gone. So you're gonna have a hard time, sort of. You're gonna basically just gonna have to hit all the ammo boxes, and ammo is something you really gotta stay on top of when you're using Marksman, because it goes, guys. So I do recommend that with your gear options, okay? That or weapon damage, okay? So that you don't have to shoot as much, okay? Just go with weapon amps to get weapon damage. Something like densified ammunition, you can't go wrong there. It's because you know, that's just general weapon damage. Same with assault loadout, that's general weapon damage, but that also gives you extra thermal clips as well, so that's pretty good. Or spare ammo. Help with your ammo issues there, but you know, thermal clip storage, okay, wouldn't be a bad choice, especially if you want something like the Harrier, okay, guys. You're gonna just you're gonna deplete the clip of that gun just so often with Marksman because the bullets will just fly out with that increased rate of fire. But you know, something else like the vulnerability VI would be not a bad choice, especially if you're sniping, okay, guys. Just really get the headshots in and completely mow down the enemy real quick. But other than that, there's shield options, okay, guys? There's nothing wrong going with the shield options. I'm always going to recommend you go for shield strength over recharge, okay? You're a soldier, you haven't got anything magic about you. The enemy going to see you all the time. The enemy going to hit you all the time, so you really want to be able to take that hit. I don't know why this guy is so squishy. I really don't. They must think that because of that little hop he has, he can run circles around the Turian soldier. That evasive maneuver is nice, especially with phantoms and such, but the Turian soldier is ultimately better, guys, because he's harder and he's got all those stability bonuses. See, when you increase the rate of fire with Marksman, you increase the rate in which the weapon kicks, like I've been saying. So with that lack of control, you land less shots and you just end up doing less damage. You know, it's just the fact of the matter. You know, or you simply have a much smaller range of weapons at your disposal. So, you know, the Marksman is not the weapons platform the Turian soldier is, by any stretch of the imagination. That guy can rock anything, whereas this guy needs a lot of help to do the same sort of thing. And you know, that help, those extra strengths are going to come with some different weaknesses. Honestly, I don't know why they opted for another Quarian anyway. This guy should have been Solarian. You know, he could have been the same stats, the same powers. This is the same character, just a different model. It would make more sense that he's this squishy, okay? Because the Quarian male and the Quarian engineer aren't this squishy. I don't know why he is the soldier, the most vulnerable of them all. What are you going to do? And most importantly, we already had 4 Quarians, okay? We got 2 Solarians. 2! They hold so much importance in the campaign. I just want to know what the fuck happened. The fact that we got Vorta and Volus pulling more weight than these guys is just crazy. You know, and these multiplayer situations are special operations. That's kind of their thing. We should have at least had 2 more Solarians put out through the DLC, so that they're not. So the Volus don't fucking outnumber them. I mean, there's only 1 more Solarian than there is Collectors, which is crazy. Although, I'm not complaining. I do like what they did with the Collector. Okay, a lot of people wanted a Prothean in the multiplayer, and that would have just been stupid. It was a much smarter choice. I do like how they kept the integrity of the series by just going with like an awakened Collector. Although I haven't played the Leviathan DLC yet, so I don't really understand it completely, but I got an idea. Don't spoil anything for me. You do post any spoilers and I will block you immediately, to be honest. But no, it's stupid that there's just so few Solarians and they're outnumbered by some of the like really background characters or races, okay? They could have just had 2 fully armoured Solarians that replaced this guy and the Volus Sentinel, okay? So there'd be more Solarians than Volus, at least. I can see a Solarian with shield boost and like a defensive melee stance, okay? That would work. That would absolutely work. They could have done it. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they felt the need to have so many Volus and Vorta. But, you know, let's get back to the character, okay? Marksman's a cool power. It is a cool power. It's nice that it's out there on another character. It's nice that there's another character with it. Something important that I failed to mention in the Turian Soldier video, however, is that you do need to stop shooting before you activate Marksman if you want to benefit from it. If you just keep firing and, you know, press the marksman button, it's not going to activate marksman. You need to stop shooting and then activate it, and then you can start shooting with the increased rate of fire and all that kind of good stuff. That's how that works, okay, guys? They also buffed it so that it reloads your gun now, like adrenaline rush, okay? What people wanted was the ability to use another power with it. I don't actually like how it's stepping on Adrenaline Rush's like coolest feature now, to be honest. Every power should have its own thing that defines it, but what are you going to do, okay, guys? But I rock headshots for that reason, though. Not on tactical scan. Not on tactical scan. That evolution is broken. It won't do anything for you. I'm talking about the headshot evolution on Marksman. It's not the end of the world, though. Headshot damage, but the headshot damage bonuses don't work on bosses, the enemies that you're actually going to be scanning. So, you know, because the bosses have weak points, not heads per se, so they don't, any headshot bonuses, even in your passives, don't have any effect on bosses, okay? But my Tyrion is still old school. He can afford to be. He puts it out better. My Quarian's so squishy, I use more hit-and-run tactics with him and rock weapons with smaller clip sizes, so it helps that I can spam it. But there's the gameplay. Hope you enjoyed it.
You're not looking long and down.